Hey, what's up everyone? Dane here from Moving to Canada, and as you might be able to tell, we are in Toronto, which means yes, we are finally doing a much requested video on 8 things you need to know before moving to Toronto. Now look, I've done a ton of research for this video. I've visited a ton of locations, but Toronto is very big, so there are going to be things that I leave out. If I miss your favorite restaurant or your favorite neighborhood, I am sorry, but please feel free to jump into the comments section and let our viewers know what else Toronto has to offer. We're gonna start off with an issue that is very important to consider if you are thinking about a move to Toronto, and that is the cost of housing in the city. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. The cost of living in Toronto is high, very high. Without a secure income, typically in the higher range, living in Toronto's downtown can be a struggle. According to the website Numbeo for July 2021, a 1-bedroom apartment in Toronto's downtown core averages around $2,000 a month. Outside the city center, a 1-bedroom apartment averages closer to $1,650 a month. Now, a 3-bedroom apartment right downtown averages nearly $3,400 per month. But outside the city center, it's closer to $2,600 a month. But honestly, it really depends on the neighborhood and the type of place. For example, these condo buildings in downtown versus these cute little townhouses in Trinity Bellwoods versus this apartment building in Parkdale. And if you want to buy property in Toronto, be prepared. A 1-bedroom condo could easily set you back more than $500,000, and the average price of a house is sitting at around $1.5 million. That being said, you can probably find an employer who's willing to pay you a higher salary than you receive in Canada's smaller cities, but make sure that you research the vacancies and salaries in your industry before committing to a move. The second thing you need to know about is size. Guys, Toronto is huge, at least by Canadian standards. It's the largest city in Canada. So how big is it? Well, that depends on what we're calling Toronto. The city proper has a population of about 3 million and runs about 20 kilometers north-south and about 45 kilometers east-west. And it includes a bunch of different neighborhoods, each with very distinct personalities and very different price ranges. From Etobicoke to Rexdale, from the Junction to the Danforth, and all the way east past Scarborough. The city is big. Now, zoom out. The Greater Toronto Area, or GTA, encompasses 4 more massive regional municipalities and includes cities like Brampton, Burlington, Markham, and Mississauga. This video is about the city itself, but stay tuned to our channel for future videos about other GTA locales. Now that you know how big the city is, the next thing to talk about is transportation. Walking and biking can be great options for getting around your neighborhood and maybe even the surrounding neighborhoods, but if you're going to be traveling any distance north, south, or east-west, you're going to need to beef up your transportation. Thankfully, Toronto operates a robust public transit system called the Toronto Transit Commission, or TTC. This includes the subway network as well as a vast array of buses and streetcars. A regular adult fare on the TTC will set you back $3.25, while a regular monthly pass is a whopping $156. Now, Toronto also uses the GO Transit system to connect all of the regions in the GTA. Depending on your transportation needs, GO Transit might fill a gap that the TTC doesn't. We recommend taking the time to map out the public transit options that are close to your Toronto address. If public transit isn't an option, bear in mind that a lot of Torontonians get around using a car. Just remember, traffic and parking are no joke in Toronto. The fourth thing you need to know about moving to Toronto is the climate. Now, Toronto has a pretty stereotypically Canadian climate. The winters are cold with lots of snow. The average temperature is well below freezing. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, in January, the coldest month of the year, the average daily low is -7 degrees Celsius. But I promise you, there'll be a couple of deep freeze periods that'll really make you question stepping outside. Summers, as you might be able to tell, are warm and wonderful. A great place for hanging out here, in the beaches. In July, the warmest month of the year, the average daily high is 27 degrees Celsius, although you should expect at least 1 or 2 heat waves each summer that will really make you think about sticking your head in the freezer. The fifth thing you need to know is that Toronto is the epicenter of business and culture in Canada. Let's take the financial district as an example. This area, right downtown, is the heart of Canada's financial sector. Plus, these famous skyscrapers on Bay Street host some of Canada's largest corporations, most prestigious law firms, and even the Toronto Stock Exchange. In recent years, the GTA has also emerged as one of the hottest tech markets in North America, drawing tech workers from all over the world. But even beyond tech, Toronto is a hugely popular destination for immigrants, with more than half of the city's population identifying as first-generation immigrants. And we see this evidenced in cool places, like in all these shops in Toronto's Little India neighborhood. Whatever you're interested in, there's a decent chance that Toronto goes harder than anywhere else in the country. Film buff? Check out the Toronto International Film Festival. Music lover? Find Beethoven with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra at Roy Thomson Hall. Or mega stars at packed arena shows at Rogers Centre. Sports? Toronto's got a bunch of big teams in major leagues. The Leafs, the Raptors, the Blue Jays, and TFC. Honestly, I'm a bit more of a Toronto drag queen fan than a Toronto sports fan. Go Priyanka! But I wanted to put a little bit of sports in here. Don't let all the business talk scare you. In the 6th thing you need to know about living in Toronto, I'm here to let you know that Toronto does a pretty good job of giving access to green spaces and nature. Now, your favorite Toronto park says a lot about you, and I am shameless in admitting that I love Trinity Bellwoods, where we are right now. But there are so many others to choose from. High Park, here in the west, which even has a zoo. The gorgeous Scarborough Bluffs, where we are now. Look at those puppies. And Toronto Islands, which you can see just across the water. They have gorgeous views of downtown, plus a ton of beaches. One of which is clothing optional. Ryan Gosling, if you see this video, I'd love to see you there. Call me. The 7th thing you need to know about is post-secondary schooling in Toronto. The city is full of post-secondary options, from the prestigious and expensive to the pragmatic and affordable. Toronto hosts world-class educational institutions like the University of Toronto, where we are right now. U of T ranks not only as one of the best schools in Canada, but also as one of the best schools in the world. But beware. The international tuition fees match the prestige. An international student starting a bachelor's degree in arts or sciences in 2021 will pay nearly $60,000 a year in tuition fees alone. Some schools offer incredible specialized programs, like the Journalism School here at Ryerson University, or the creative programs at the Ontario College of Art and Design. And schools like Humber College offer great practical and technical programs, from accounting to graphic design to forensics. Basically, if you want to further your schooling in Toronto, you've got options. It all depends on your goals and your resources. The last thing you need to know about living in Toronto is the quality food and drink options. I mean, hey, it is the biggest and one of the most diverse cities in the country. It is no surprise that Toronto is a heavy hitter when it comes to amazing cuisines from all around the world. Toronto has some very high-end restaurants, some of which are run by world-famous chefs. But honestly, I'm a bigger fan of smaller local joints like Ding-A-Wing here in Roncesvalles or Roncy. This is their incredible fried chicken sandwich. And honestly, guys, it would be great if we could get a thread going in the comments section about the best local joints in Toronto. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. If you want more Canadian destination content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Oh, it's so good. Yep.